I'm Mike Thomas reporting for Xseas.com.
And I'm Betty Gudel reporting from Xseas.com, and today we have with us Carlo Ciaramitaro from KPMG. Carlo, KPMG is not just tax solutions, is it?
No, it's certainly not. I mean, we are a whole service firm. We provide audit, accounting, and advisory type services, and to small, medium enterprises as well as large enterprises.
And how long have you been in the Windsor area for?
I've actually been born, raised, and lived in Windsor my entire life.
And KPMG, how many different offices do they have in Ontario?
We have a number of offices throughout Ontario and across the country, and we're also a large global firm. But in southwestern Ontario in particular, we do have 6 offices.
So I understand there are a lot of people who live in Windsor who are huge successes in the business world who have businesses globally. Do you also help with their?
Absolutely. In fact, in the area that I practice in, I practice in the R&D tax incentive practice, and I do work with a lot of Canadian companies that have operations worldwide. A lot of them are internationally known, and a lot of our own homegrown companies in Windsor that have global operations. We do provide them with services such as R&D tax incentive funding, assisting them with government grant funding, as well as our traditional core services.
And because we're a cross-border city, do you have a lot of businesses that are American and Canadian?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a combination. We have a number of companies that, just by the sheer location or the proximity to the U.S., it's a market that you simply cannot ignore. So many of our clients do operate in the U.S. market, which is a tremendous opportunity for growth.
So, what brought you to be part of this today?
Well, this is a great opportunity. Windsor has always had the image of being an automotive town, and I think over the last number of years, I think Windsor has done a number of different things to diversify and change their image to get into different industries such as alternative energy and IT. And there's a fledgling IT sector that's growing beneath us right now as we speak, and you can see all the number of booths around town, around the room here. These are all local IT companies that are homebred. So we felt that it was important for KPMG that this is the space that we play in, and we felt that it was important for us to participate in local community events such as this and promote the IT community, which is an up and coming community.
There seems to be the direction, that we now recognize that we have good things in Windsor, okay, and the good things that we can do in Windsor to support all businesses in Windsor and Essex County seems to be what we should be doing. Absolutely, and this is a great opportunity here again, as there's a lot of local vendors. We certainly have been able to bring some large players such as the Cisco's and the IBM's and the RIMs of the world, but you'd be amazed at how many of these smaller local companies are very well connected, are very successful, and they are actually really a smaller arm of these larger operations. And really, if you look at the Canadian economy, it's the small business that drives the Canadian economy. It's companies such as the ones we see around this room today. That's what's really important. So what we see the speakers here today, what is the initial response when say Windsor reaches out and say, hey, we want you to come down here, okay, and help us with our with this very, very innovative trade show? What's the normal response? You know what? It was actually quite good. The response was very well, and again, I think because people have noticed that there has been a startup industry, a fledgling IT industry in Windsor, and the opportunity to help grow that industry, I think is what made it very attractive. And you've seen a number of examples. For instance, you look at Kitchener-Waterloo area, Communitech. Kitchener was in a very similar situation about a decade where they were losing a lot of their manufacturing operations, and then they needed to diversify. And now you look at, they've got RIM, and they've got a very successful IT base. And I think a lot of people see that Windsor is the next community that could be just as successful and maybe even more successful, given that we're right next door to our U.S. counterparts and have easy access to the border. I can see that. That's fantastic.
Now, this is the first event ever Do you see this being an annual event because it's been so successful?
Absolutely. I think we've had a tremendous outpouring of companies reaching out to us. In fact, we had to actually turn away a few companies just because we had to, move on with the agenda and get the program set up. So I could see this being an event that's going to continue on for many years to come.
Great. Thanks so much. I'm Betty Gudel, reporting for Exys.com.
And I'm Mike Thomas, reporting for Exys.com.
Thanks so much, Carlo.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you very much.
That was a big event to
It was.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how successful this has turned out. It's beyond my expectation. And considering the weather, I was a little worried with the weather.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my goodness, no one's going to show up. This place this morning was just jam-packed.
And getting these great big companies out too, like you said, IBM,
It was amazing. You know what? We reached out to all these large players, and they were tremendous. They were tremendous supporters of the event. Not only did they want to come down here to support us from a speaking perspective, but they wanted to be a big part of the show and help out in any way they possibly could. So it was tremendous support from these large players.
Yeah. Google, IBM, RIM,
Cisco, HP. I mean, it went on and on. These are the big players, and again, it just shows me that if we reach out to these large players and they show immediate interest, not one player hesitated. They immediately responded and said, "Yep, we want to be a part of it. What can we do to make this event a success?"
Great, thanks, Carlo.
Thank you.
And here's another one coming. Knox from Digital Media, Mike Thomas, Betty Gudel, Alex Diamero.